Why, cassowary? If they live in Australia, they'll kill you. They have a giant raptor claw.
Like a
Sounds like
danger
you've had a
turkey.
bad experience.
Oh no, I love them. They're
I'm gonna
fascinating.
call them
They're
danger turkeys from now on.
horrifying.
We have never.
They
We
will
have
gut you.
Well, maybe you.
Oh, we are live now.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was there a
yeah, that's the
countdown?
thing. Yep, there was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Wow.
certainly did not notice. Hi, everybody.
Aaron,
What?
can you
I
move
was
the
like,
camera? Hold on.
What?
Hold on.
Wait, what's going on?
Someone's
What are you
echoing.
Yeah. Can you move my camera more?
Oh, I see what you mean. Listen, it's not my fault you're not even with your life.
I am symmetrical.
You
in
cannot.
this stream.
Nope. Nope. You are just stuck like this forever now. I don't think you understand.
Okay.
Fudge my life. You have to make me do this. No.
Oh, no.
No. Now you're just gonna suffer. There we go. But
Soul
now it's
colors outside the lines.
so does color outside the lines. Oh god.
You're almost there. That is so close.
It auto adjusts it, so I can only do so much. Wait, let me see. How does it look now? Oh nope, it's still sticking out. Gosh dang it.
It's like a stack of papers that you like keep.
Yes,
trying to
and there's
get
like there's
all
that
lined
one
up, but they
person,
do, like-
there's that one paper that just won't budge. There we go. Well, you know what? We are doing great now, I think. It was being facetious. It always is being facetious. I had a fascinating convo. You know, did I miss the intro?
You're being face tedious.
Face hideous. Kindred is being face hideous. You know, poor Kindred. It's not his fault. I mean, I guess it is. Anyway, so welcome to tonight's Game of Santos, where we
Hello.
play D&D and usually get stuff done. Or, as Dreamy has pointed out, we, take 3 years to get to 2 days later. But that's okay, because there's a lot going on, and the city is filled with secrets. And if there's one thing that we like, it's tea. Or something. So, to get us started, we have a couple of announcements. Don't forget to check out our friends over at Dads and Dice. I know that you guys are probably currently watching here, but if you can't watch right now, then check them out later tonight, as I may be 2 places at once, see the marvels of the internet, as you see me here and you see me there. Which one is the real one?
Neither.
Neither.
Yeah,
I mean,
neither.
the answer to
Aaron is
that
a fiction.
I do not
Don't-
exist. None of you have
Don't
ever
believe anything you hear, kiddies.
His real
He's a
name is
liar.
Eric?
His real name is Eric. We get it, Aaron. You get around. Sometimes.
Eh.
Anyway, so
His
very
other person's name is No Raw.
true story. The first time I ever learned to write my name, I could only write it backwards, mirrored backwards. My parents thought that I had like a really strange form of dyslexia, because they would teach me how to write my name, and then when I would write it out myself,
Autism?
Murder.
it was like
Red
it was
Rum.
like
That's okay,
perfectly
Red Rum.
mirrored.
You say
Yeah.
this like we should be surprised that you
No.
had this ability as a child.
That's really fascinating. I don't know. I'm curious about that. It's really
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure.
think it's actually pretty cool.
There's probably a reason, but eventually I learned how to write it the correct way.
probably because you're super creative.
Maybe I just
There
wanted to
is no
show
correct
off.
way as long as the
The
end result
Pisces
is the
thing.
same.
It's a Pisces thing.
Maybe. Okay, so that's that first announcement. The second announcement is that Thursday will be the next episode of not Dads and Dice, of Rescuers the Maw's Depth, where we see what continues to happen to our brave adventurers who are trying to find Galil. Don't worry, Galil, we know you're out there somewhere in the abyss. We're trying to find you. You just need to want to be found when you need to be found. I don't know. We'll see if
Help me,
anybody gets
Obi-Wan
eaten.
Kenobi. You're my only hope.
We'll see who gets eaten this time around.
He didn't
Last
understand
episode
the
reminded me
rules.
of the number one rule of survival. Apparently, is to stay in the same place.
And also the rule
Right,
that
not to move around.
whenever we say Marco, he was supposed to say Polo, and he wasn't. So
Yeah, that sounds like something Galil would do. Guess we'll figure it out. But other than that, I don't think we have too many other announcements other than
YouTube.
Oh yes, thank you. I forgot, and we just talked about it. We now have a couple of new pages on our YouTube channel. So we have Barrel's Baddies up, and we have the last 2 episodes of The Rescuers up. They're in their own separate little playlists. So go check that out. Thank you, Kindred, for organizing that as you do. Social, you know what? I don't know if we have the YouTube. I don't know. I give up. Thank you, Elfie, for trying. I don't remember if I feel like I did set that up, but I don't remember if I did or not.
See.
Is it under social media? I don't think so. I think that's just, I think this is just, it's just Twitter and the Discord.
But those
Maybe
are
it's
fun places
those-
too.
Yes, those are definitely good. Is it just YouTube?
have a
No, it is not. All right, so that is on the docket for things that I need to fix because I'm pretty sure I did it, but it didn't come up. So I know I've done it before. Or is it in the about page? I think I have it in the about page. If you scroll down, that's why I think it's in there. The link to the YouTube. If you just scroll under our box, but in any other, I think that's about it. Next time on Game of Santos. So to get us started, we'll go ahead and jump into our lovely intro and get ready to play some D&D, guys. What do you say? You wanna play some D&D?
today?
Wait,
Oh,
my
you guys-
screen has a spot.
Please, Papa.
What? What's happening? What?
I know we weren't
Please,
expecting it, but
I
yeah.
want some more.
Oh, goodness gracious. What? I'll look up the OnlyFans when I get back on my PC.
Yes.
Definitely the name of my thirst account. Evening Gram Bam. Thank you, ma'am.
On the
Perfect.
OnlyFans, every time one of us rolls a 1, we get punished.
Or is it
Oh.
punishment?
Oh, okay. Well,
Is it
okay,
punishment?
okay. Oh no, the wheels of the bus go round and round.
Wait, does that mean that Aaron or
Just like
Sonder
these
gets to hold the
punishments.
whip?
Well, I mean, Aaron is the dungeon master.
Yeah, but Sonder is daddy.
So Daddy can be punished. He's been a bad daddy.
Okay. Anyway,
Daddy is proficient in the whip, so Daddy will hold the whip.
the punishment is just taking Soul for walkies. All right, you have to go outside
Not
in the
on
rain.
Palmyra's grass.
Yeah, exactly. She's been working hard on that lawn. Okay, anyway. Oof, we are off to a great start. The brigade have infiltrated Veltalar. They're here on Veltalar. Hoping to make their way east at some point. Weast, as they are posing as the traveling band Suddenly Goats. You have made the acquaintance and apparent patronage of a captain of the watch, a group of quasi-militial police that kind of protect the country side, as you learned last time that it was not just Algaron but also its neighbor, from uprising magic users who might follow in the wake of their neighbor, the Red Wizards of Thay. And so in a effort to quell such uprisings, they tend to ship them out as quickly as possible. You guys, having found yourselves being the benefactor of Captain Valravin, a music aficionado of sorts, has decided he wants you guys to play at a special gala that is to be held now within a day and a half, 2 days time. It's like the night. It's not this coming day, it's like the next day, so 2 days-ish time.
Next day's eve.
Next day's eve, yes. Next day's eve, exactly. And as you guys have been benefiting from his excitement from this, he has got you guys outfits that are being made in 1.5 long rests. Yeah. For instance, today is Sunday, a day of rest, but not for Sonder. Oh no. Oh boy. Okay, so oh no, I didn't see Graham up ahead. I think you'll find Princess holds the whip. Ooh. Wow. Yeah, indeed. Okay, anyway, so if you have questions about who the princess is, please see our YouTube channels. So now that you guys have left the tavern or inn that you had been staying in, named the Jagged Shark's Tooth, you no longer having a home to stay in, have now moved yourselves to the Temple of Saloon here within the city and asked the young priestess there, Wenalea, for sanctuary, where she set you up in a small sanctuary there within the temple, and you guys settled down for the evening after a not really surprising charm person was cast on North. Yeah, that's how we do it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, wait, do I have? Yeah, no, I think I did. Anyway, before I get sidetracked, you guys settled in for the evening. And North and Renan have now gone and found themselves roosts because they're bird people now and like to find high places to sleep in.
I have always been bird people.
No. I know. Oh, I know. I'm just saying because that's what you do on the regular is find high places from which.
Well, I am now Phoenix person.
Phoenix person and bird
Get it?
person.
Because I'm like reborn.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Hey, anyway.
Dark Phoenix.
Brought to you by Dads and Dice.
Oh, there will be yeah. All puns tonight brought to you by our quasi-sponsors, Dads and Dice. We're just gonna say you sponsor us, even though you don't, but we're gonna just
sponsor
pretend.
each other.
Yeah, we sponsor each other. We support each other. So all puns brought to you by the support. All puns brought to you by the support of our friends over at Dads and Dice. Renan Birdman, cleric at law.
Phoenix.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it. All right, so as the night goes, and you guys have a long rest completed, the sun starts streaming in through the paned glass windows here in the small like side sanctuary that you guys have found yourself cozied up in. It's like a small, probably we'll say like 10 by 15 little side room. It's not built, it's very simple. There's just like a tiled floor. There's this one, the back wall, it has this larger like pane glass window that kind of stained glass relief of a mountainside with a large symbol of saloon that kind of like overlooks the mountain. And you guys, aside from the bedrolls and your own gear, there's a couple of other like large throw pillows, almost like quasi beanbag kind of things, little lounge things that you can use to sit or lay in, and that's kind of been where you have camped out. You had like a sleepover in the sanctuary of the temple. And college, definitely college.
Did we need to do perception checks on the events of the night before?
That's up to you guys. I mean, the ones in the room, you guys awaken as normal. The ones who are outside and don't sleep forever. Were you guys really keeping a watch out, or just kind of?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I performed a little thing in my sword, a ritual thing for my sword, and also I have to roll for my knowledge of a past life because I did complete a long rest.
Okay, go for it.
And I'm gonna do the perception.
We'll do a history check for you. Go ahead and do a perception check for Renan, history check, and a perception check for North, please.
So call out to us when the sun rises.
So my perception.
Perception.
My
11.
perception was a 27.
27. So Renana Doodle Doo. That's what it is. Not Cock-a-Doodle Doo. Renana Doodle Doo. Anyway.
And now, North, I need to come over and drink again so that I can destroy Aaron's room while I'm there.
All right. So, as you kind of have kept watch for the evening whenever you weren't sleeping. You see that there are people that kind of move about in the night, and like the guards that kind of like make their little patrols, especially here within the walled off upper sections of the city. Nothing strikes you as out of the ordinary, but you do see that there are, like, even at the wee hours of the morning, you see the little faint torchlights of people moving through the fog, because it is foggy and you can't really see otherwise. But you do see like the occasional little like movie, you know, just looks like little moving lights that kind of just like walk in patterns. As far as North goes, your memories of the past. Get down, you Sonder. wee hours. I see what I did there. I apologize.
It's when you get up in the middle of the night and you have
to go. Yeah, when you need to go. It's the wee hours. Now
That's
I know.
Perfect.
Yeah. You, in your meditations, occasionally will get those little flashes. And the previous night's conversation with Kindred had kind of made you focus on some of the memories that you do have from when you awoke the last time, or that first time. You have vague recollections of your life beforehand, but you were, or felt like you were extremely young, and they feel so far away as to become like hazy or clouded over, like you can barely grasp onto these memories. The more vivid ones were the ones when you were awoken in the pile of bodies in a cart being taken away. Cart wasn't really attended much, and you, for kind of watching out, slipped off to the side and fell into the hot deserty sands. and just kind of laid there. And then when you finally moved again, after no one seemed to have noticed that you had fallen off the wagon, as it were, find yourself out in the middle of that desert. And that companion of a voice in your head, almost like another person. It was the first time that you had felt that presence there. And finding your body in the state that it was became quite the shock. When you looked down at your arm and found that one of your arms was not yours. And it seemed to belong to another's. And the memory of that fades just like the dust that gets kicked up with a strong wind. And trekking, traveling, moving, finding your way back to a place that you felt like you belonged, a place that felt like home. But it wasn't your home. But it is your home. And it's that that dual memory that kind of overlaps with each other that kind of creates that fog that this is where you belong. But something else tells you this is not where you belong. But deep down inside, this is familiar. And you want to make sure that this kind of confusion, this kind of torment doesn't happen. And then your little rest is done and you find yourself in the very early hours of the morning, past the wee hours, and now it is just dawn. So, as you come to, I would like the four of you that were sleeping in the sanctuary to make perception checks for me.
14.
I'm looking back at the chat now, and I'm just disappointed.
Are you really, though?
No, not at all.
I find it hilarious
Oh,
that
no,
you
it's
went
great.
ahead and said wee hours again as you finished
Yeah.
describing
know,
the
Tied
North.
everything
Yeah, you
together.
know, it's what I had to do. No, I'm not disappointed.
It's beautiful.
I got a 17.
17.
Sunder felt very relaxed in this place. It reminded him of home, so he's not really paying attention. He got a 12.
And I got a 15.
Alrighty. 15. What was yours, Kindred?
14.
14. Perfect. All right. As you are gathering your things, this came pretty. I mean, you all notice that there are only 4 of you in this room. You knew that North had left.
Would I know that my alarm was dispelled?
I'll say with a 14, probably not right away. You will have like eventually, but your first putting it together right away, like it's not your first thought. But what does catch your attention first is where Aliquin had been. He is no longer. And his things are gone. And on the pillow that he had been using as a headrest is a folded piece of paper.
Mage hand, snatch it.
Why does this keep happening?
All our friends are leaving, guys.
keep leaving me.
I swear I heard
With-
all our friends are illusions.
I mean,
my God.
that's really sad and deep and horrifying.
At the end of this campaign, he just wakes up in a mental hospital. Like, oh.
Well, yeah,
I'm
there's only one.
flying.
This is all
I'm
a dream.
flying.
This is all a dream of one
like
of
that
you,
one
and at
movie
the end we'll find
of
out whose
Stephen
dream
King.
this
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
It just
Um,
keeps killing off people until we get to the.
As this is happening, and you grab the note, Iskra, you feel the not the uncomfortableness, but like you feel like there's there's paper stuck in your clothes. And you instantly kind of feel like this little scratchy sensation, like what is? And you kind of stick your hand in a little bit into your tunic there, and you feel the little paper that's kind of just crumpled itself against you. And then as you're grabbing it, and you notice, you notice that Aliquin's gone. You notice that Kindred is holding a note of his own, and everybody else seems to be making.
You might want to come read this with me.
I stop opening the crumpled paper and head over to Kindred.
You see
one of those things where I'm like laying down, like holding it, like still comfy.
You see written in common is a note from Aliquin.
It's a note from Aliquin.
Oh my god, you're the worst. I've got one job on this ship.
I'm doing it. I'm actually doing it. Computer.
It says,
I remember that.
It says, I know this comes at a bad time, but I'm afraid something far worse than a sunken boat is in store if I don't take care of this now. I don't want anyone to suffer. I know that this is hard because of what I'm about to do, but I don't want to lose any more friends. When the time is right and I am stronger for it, I will return. I promise. Suddenly Goats has a name to make for itself, and I hope to make you all proud one day. And this has like Aliquin bottom.
I finished reading it and I just kind of hold it there to like let Iskra read it.
This has to be a joke, right? Aliquin?
My spell's gone.
You know, you look over to where the note was snatched, and when you snatched the note, is that in the indented form of the pillow is the spy's murmur.
So he's really just left us again.
I can't believe he would just do this. He was sick yesterday and now he's gone.
So then is it really him in his right mind, or is this work of Sisters of Demons, whatever their names are?
If they were going to take him, they would have told us, right?
I don't know. They're weird. It could be like a weird thing that they have with him. I don't know.
The note's specific, so we know it wasn't the watch, but he can't have gotten far, right?
Well, let's just relax. I know, easier said than done. Look at me. I'm telling a woman to relax. Let's just try to have breakfast, and once we get settled and introduce ourselves with the temple priestess, I can see if I can track him and see if get a feel for him.
You don't think he's still on the temple grounds somewhere or just outside?
If that's the case, then he might be taking a walk with one of the priestesses, so then we might meet him at breakfast.
Renan, did you see anything last night? Did you see Aliquin go anywhere?
Haven't been able to see anything in particular, no.
This goddamn
Aliquin's not
fog.
down there with all of you. And I'm looking up at north at this point.
The rest of us, are we within earshot of hearing Kindred and...
Oh yeah, I'm just.
You're all in the same room. Yeah, it's the same room.
And I'm talking kind of loudly.
Yeah.
And it's basically a wall closet, if I recall.
Yeah, it's just like an empty room. It's just like an empty room that you guys have been put in for the night.
Well, we can check to see if he took one of the horses.
Better not have taken my damn horse.
If this is serious, then the rest of his belongings would be gone too.
Oh, I mean, all his stuff's gone.
Everything.
Everything.
Anyone
with
Except,
that,
and then I'll
I'm-
mage hand the spice member. Except for this, he left this behind.
stand up and look at North. Do you need help getting down, or are you going to do it on your own?
I'll just echo back into the room, do a little party trick. Why does everyone look shocked or like they saw a ghost?
With that, I'm gonna fall off
What
of
did we
the
tell you
spire and
about
go
your
to the carriage. By the way.
entrance? You can't barge in on us like this. This is how you get shot.
Renan. When,
Renan knew how to go in through the doors. There is no
That's
other way
fine.
for you to
I'm
go.
not going in.
Okay.
when Alkin was sick yesterday, did he act strange? Did anything happen?
Only getting visitors, getting those 3 strange visitors that I told you about. If that is what you might entail, then yes, I would suppose so.
I guess
Yes, I would think
Do
that's
I
of
find the
consequence.
horses?
he might have gone with
Are all the horses there?
Yes.
Carriage there?
And I have something to tell y'all. Renan, can you keep North busy for a little bit?
We're not. North is with you guys, but
I know.
No,
that's-
oh,
he's
yeah,
in
yeah.
the room with you.
Yeah, but
Um,
you're not, right?
No.
Okay, I guess I echo back out to the stables to
Well,
meet
Well, you
I'm
don't-
not spice-
Nobody. You have. You don't know that they're wanting
When we do
private
this,
time.
this is the international symbol for spice member talk.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
telepathic. So you just don't get. You
Get
just.
that Professor X shit going on?
Yeah. You just. They're all like talking to each other telepathically. So there's just no one's talking in the room.
I mean, I figured I'd probably do that whenever he was like, "Don't you want to get shot?" You're like,
I'm just North,
"All right then."
Renan's asked for your help getting the horses together real quick. Since you can go in and out so easily.
Did
All
Eloquent
right.
take his...
I want to
Remember
call
Putin?
your like echo travel thing. I want to call it a boomf.
Bamf?
What?
Definitely.
Well,
a
he
boomf.
still needs to know where he's putting it. Like.
Yeah, I can only like at least if I have a visual, just so I know I'm not gonna teleport into a wall. Be like,
Nightcrawler.
"Oh look, I've been impaled." Like,
Whatever you do, don't accidentally teleport into a brothel.
Oh, boy.
Changes the whole message.
All right. Anyway.
Is
Anywho.
anyone familiar with Kindred's writing? Can we make sure that it was actually him that wrote this?
The Eloquence writing?
I've
Kindred
already,
would be the
I've
one who
already typed the
knows.
note into my journal, but I mean, if y'all want to look at it again.
Well, the
I can
horses are
identify
all here,
calligraphy.
for what it's worth.
All right, North will be there shortly. Do you leave North?
yeah, I echoed out to the front gate because that's where I know, and then I'll walk around.
Okay, as soon as he leaves, guys.
That's what I was doing that for, not like.
Before he comes back, there is something I want to tell y'all, and it could be serious. So, the only reason I know is because it happened to me, and when I got my new body, come to find out, there was a device implanted in that pretty much can keep a tab on everything I see and do and hear. So we have to assume that he's bugged.
Do you think he was part of Aliquin going missing?
I don't think so. I think he's a whole separate basket case, but I just wanted to give y'all the heads up about that.
We can check him.
Not easily. It took Neferu, Farlight, and her assistant to clear the device and me.
Oh.
It's powerful stuff, even I didn't know it was in me, so just heads up.
I thought Amaranth took it out.
No,
That was
this is
something
something way
else.
different.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Amaranth took out
Things you got
a
in
physical. Amaranth took out a physical device, but it was already kind of inactive or inert. So, what the thing that Kindred is talking about happened before you guys.
Right before we raced the city, or right after?
I want to say it was around that time. because it wasn't too long, but it was at a time when it was just it was before stream and before I think Sol and Iskra had joined us. So I think it was at some point before that they had a sense that there was something that was like in you.
Use my proficiency in calligraphy to see if this is eloquence writing?
Sure.
Should I use?
If Kindred helps you, you can get advantage on this.
Okay.
Because Kindred has seen his book a lot, so he knows what his handwriting looks like.
And then we gotta find out how many more Horcruxes Kindred has in him too.
What skill should I use for?
Intelligence.
Intelligence straight.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
You have advantage. You have advantage.
Oh, advantage. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, he's helping you.
Okay, let's do that again. 8 versus wow. Let's go. I guess let's go with 8.
Okay. I would say even because Kindred is kind of helping you recognize some of the things. It is his handwriting.
Yeah.
That much is clear.
You know more than I do, but hey,
I'm
I
gonna
knew it with him.
open the door and head down to somewhere where I can see like just the city.
Little did she know, Amber.
I want to look
right
out,
outside.
see if I see any traces of him.
Okay. If you wish, when you exit the sanctuary that you're in, it is right off of like the main kind of hall of the temple, and it's empty. You don't see anybody really around. You start making your way towards the main doors. You go outside the main doors, you find yourself greeted by a foggy morning.
Before you leave, I'll catch up with you later, Iskra. I'll tidy up.
I don't pay attention. I haven't even put my boots on.
Yeah. You just go out to
I
the door
look
and
out at the fog. I'm like, of course.
you remember the note that's in your
I was trying
pocket.
to be helpful.
All right. I lean up against the wall, kind of defeated, and open up the note.
Okay. You read the note, and this is written in Ravnican. It's not the best Ravnican, but it's written in Ravnican. To Iskra, do not hesitate to use it if you need it. I don't know how long I will be gone. And I hope that it is not long and that things continue to go, in quotation marks, well. But if something does not go well, go home. Tell my family what happened. Take care of yours. It is more important that you live. And then written underneath that are the lyrics to the song he was had written.
I try
And
to
you-
keep that sparkle.
And it's like the little song. As you're reading it, there's no like. It's not like there's music written in it. It's just like a little poem, and it's funny because as you're reading it, you swear you could almost hear his voice carrying in the morning wind.
Down by the sun, that's where we like to run. But the fire got too hot, so now we had to stop. And the ships be pulling in, but now they had to swim. 'Cause the sky be burning red, 'cause it's now we're left for dead. Now I sit and watch them dance, zigzagging back and forth. like a sky of fireflies, leaving ash where they lay. And I think to myself, oh, what a world. And I think to myself, who believes just take me.
And just kind of trails off. ...
I almost instinctively crush it angrily, but I let my hand soften after reading the poem. And Chera. Talila Chebrai. Why do you have to run from us? We could help you. We can protect you.
You hear the door open behind you. And an old dwarvish woman stands there. She kind of like looks surprised. Just like she wasn't expecting you to just be there. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. You all right, dear?
It's nothing. I just don't like the fog.
She kind of looks out. It is kind of depressing. Are you one of the ones who asked for sanctuary?
That's right.
Oh. Well. My name is High Priestess Korova. Please come in. We're going to get breakfast. It will help you. She like extends a hand to kind of grasp at yours that's at your side. It might help you feel a little better.
Sure. Let's go.
Come on. She has her like the gray hair that kind of comes up in this like tight little bun. Okay, this is gonna be a bad like comparison. But you remember like the grandma in Spirited Away?
Yes.
She kind of has that kind of vibe, but without the giant head, but like that kind of like old grandmotherly kind of a borderline creepy, but not really. She's very homey. She's like,
Which
she like
one, Yubaba or Zaniga?
Yubaba.
I don't remember. I just remember the main one.
Which one?
They were twins.
Okay. Dang it! Trick question. She like walks towards. She's like kind of walks in front of you a few steps. Towards the room where everybody else is at.
Yeah, right before I follow her, I take something from my bag, anything. I don't care what it is.
Okay.
And I just hurl it out into the fog.
Your musical instrument.
Fuck. No, there goes the dulcimer goes. No.
The hurdy-gurdy, no.
But yeah. There's for sure. You can hear a little clank of something hitting the stonework. And the weird fog atmosphere where just like the sound kind of almost echoes in that weird, like supernaturally kind of way.
Silent Hill.
As you are walking, the priestess. I don't know what the note was you were reading, but if you wish to talk about it later, you know that we here are always willing to listen. Just to get things off your chest. You don't have to provide context. Sometimes it's good just to have a shoulder to listen. Okay? And she kind of turns around and kind of tries to give you a warm smile.
I just kind of force a smile back at her a little bit.
She goes over and knocks on the door to the sanctuary room.
Towers?
Huh? Yes.
Sol is holding Sonder already, kind of like picked him up, so
Yes.
can't move anywhere at the moment.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to break free.
Acrobatics or athletics?
Acrobatics.
All right.
Oh no, I mean he'll let him go if he doesn't want to be there. Obviously.
31.
Oh my god!
Boosh! You know, yeah. You just noodle your way out.
I'll appear back next to Iskra and just kind of like put a hand on her shoulder and offer a hug.
The little old woman that's there kind of looks over at all of you and she goes, well, I hope you slept all right. It appears to me that perhaps there is some things going on. If you wish a moment of time, feel free to take all the time you need. I told your friend here that I am High Priestess Korova. You're welcome to join us at the breakfast table as soon as you wish. And
Where did I get Alana?
Okay, so as you're listening, as she tells you this, your mind kind of catches that, and you're just like, wait, what? And she kind of just walks way around the corner. But you remember being introduced to a high priestess Alana.
Oh, okay.
You do remember. But you guys are given the room for the moment as the little dwarven woman walks down the hall.
Okay, I just do like all my morning rituals, all that stuff like normal.
I'm gonna put my hand on the hand that Sonder put on my shoulder and just kind of go like this with it, and then not accept the hug because I'm more angry now than I am sad.
Okay. Then I'll like pat back and head out with everyone.
I'm probably the last one to leave since I gotta like do all my ritual stuff, and then I'll head down and join the others, hopefully for breakfast.
Okay.
See me irritatedly putting my boots on and
Congratulations,
muttering.
though. You made it all the way to the third stage of grief in like 10 minutes.
Well, there's a good reason for it, in fact.
Unfortunately, we can't hear you stomp though.
No.
Oh no!
This is true.
This is true.
North.
Don't get the satisfaction.
While this was happening,
Yes.
you make your way through the fog and get to where Renan is at with the horses.
Yes.
I'm just saying, like, you get there. Renan, what are you guys doing?
I'm going to be starting to retack the horses.
Okay. You're there for a couple minutes, and North, are you helping him out? I'm guessing. Or what would you do? Or what would you like to do?
I'm doing a Echo Armory thing. I found that. And it's where you do a ritual for an Echo Knight on one weapon that you can always have. Like if it's not in your hand, you can, for a bonus action, you can make it appear, kind of like your Echo, but for one of your weapons.
Just FYI, the horses are not
Whatever.
bludgeoning weapons.
No, I'm not. Oh my god. That's fucked up. I'm not clubbing for horses. No, but I'd probably go off to the side realizing that he's got this and they just wanted their privacy.
Well, after being broadcasted, like, hey, can you find something for him to take care of? Like, when you're walking up, I will ask you, would you mind tacking up one of the horses?
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
Alrighty. So, as you're doing that, we probably guys are doing this for a couple minutes as the fog kind of, swirls around you, and you hear a brief moment somewhere close by a door kind of squeak open and shut. And then lumbering through the fog, a tall person, like, just appears where you guys are at. This Goliath stands probably about 7.5 feet tall. Young. He looks young.
Oh, so like me looking up at you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as he kind of comes over, he's just kind of looking at the both of you. Hello, he says softly. And he says it softly, but it kind of like has this like low reverberation to it from his size. I am Acolyte Lalden. I was told to come and find you. Breakfast is being served. If you would like to come in.
Well, it certainly sounds delightful. Let us finish packing horses, and we'll be on our way.
I will wait for you to finish.
I don't think I've ever heard a Goliath with such a soft voice.
I was not raised by the herd. I grew up here in the temple.
Understandable then.
Kind of bows his head a little bit, and just kind of stands off to the side. You need assistance. I can help.
Well, if you'd like to work on hooking up the wagon, then that would of course be appreciated. If not, then we've got it covered, I think.
Without even saying anything, he's as you are talking, he just kind of goes over and starts doing the task.
Just pulls the wagon up to the horse. Like...
A little bit. It kind of like it is surprising and not too surprising to see him kind of just like pick it up, and it's just kind of, it takes a little bit of pull, and you can see the muscles in his forearms beneath the shortened sleeves of his robes as he kind of just like pulls, and it just kind of like moves a little bit. It takes a second, and then it kind of moves, and he shifts it over enough. Instead of bringing the horses over, he kind of brings the wagon to where the horses are standing at.
Admittedly, Renan is like, he's still working, but he's distracted to some degree. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. He brings it over and just kind of like sets it there for you to be able to like strap the horses in. I don't know what one does. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to learn some of these terms. Oh my god.
Yes, as you buckle in the horses, as you put on their seatbelts, they are now strapped to the wagon and ready to go.
Beep beep.
So you he like leads you back into the place, into the temple, and over to a small, very homey looking kitchen that sits in the back, more like private area of the temple. It's like where the priests and priestesses live, basically, and takes you to the small kitchen. And there you see the rest of your party. You see the older dwarvish woman who sits at the head of the table. You see Priestess Wenalea, the one that you had seen the night before. You see another older human woman with this golden hair that's kind of starting to turn white in these streaks as she has it kind of just down and around her shoulders. She's currently the one that seems to be helping set breakfast onto the table. A about middle-aged half-elf man is also helping her out, and he has this really golden, fiery colored, curly hair, that is kind of cut close to his head. And then those of you who are already there see Renan and North brought into the room, followed by a young Goliath man who has to like duck down low to go step through the doorway and into this. I mean, luckily the rooms all have high ceilings, but the doorway itself, he kind of has to like duck down under to get into. And then he goes and starts helping with the last few things, bringing it to the table. What are you guys doing?
We're already at the table.
Yeah. You're like, the plates are being set before you. Fruits, breads, biscuits, a couple of, a plate of a few base pastries.
So fingers crossed, I would have opened the cage to Plume and see and ask her if she would like to come join me and have some dinner or breakfast. And I'm attempting to let her be free and just kind of perch with me.
Make a animal handling check.
Oh gosh. Okay. 16?
16. Like it kind of Plume goes to the open door and like
What was
And chokes and dies, apparently.
because that's what I do. I just choke and die all the time.
the bird went gangster? Like,
What's up?
come up in my cage? Like,
You in Plume territory now.
you ruffled the wrong feathers. Like,
Ooh, this pun brought to you by
You
Dads and
thought you
Dice.
ruled the roost. Mm-mm.
Oh
I
no.
know.
It started a pun avalanche. Okay, so
Avalanche.
oh my lord.
I'd rather have a panini.
she doesn't get out of the
Fingers,
cage,
you
but she does
disappoint me.
come towards you a little bit.
Okay. Oh, you don't have
Just
to.
kind of stare, like does that cock head thing.
I'll pull out like some
Where's
grapes and
Twiggy?
stuff and kind of lead her. And then, well, if you don't want to come, I'll try to bring something back, but we'll be back. Just hang out here. And I'll leave it open, but I'll leave the door. And so then I'm down there.
Where is Twiggy? So
Twiggy just kind of hangs out. I'm not the boss of him. He just kind of. A
Well,
lot of
if
times
you're-
he's on like my shoulder.
if he's not on your shoulder, which he is not, where is he at? Or
I
you've
have
lost
to.
Twiggy.
Well, but he's not my pet.
He's your friend.
Yeah, a friend.
He's the introvert of the party. You have to keep track of your introvert soul.
Twiggy is
Uh,
nowhere to be seen at the moment.
Yeah,
Then-
Twiggy
and
is
then-
just vibing.
Okay.
He's
So-
just digging through the trash somewhere.
At the table, I would just be like introducing myself, asking like who's who, and saying thanks for giving us shelter and pleasantries, introductions, all that stuff.
Okay. So then, the other human woman, her name is Harissa.
The one that was setting the table?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then Dosnan is the name of the other human male, or I mean the half elf man. Sorry,
Gosman?
Dosman.
Dosman.
Dosman. Dosnan.
Okay.
And then the young Goliath introduces himself as Lelden, Lelden. Whoa, that was loud. I was like, whoa, what was that?
Well,
It's the mist of yesterday's past. Ooh.
my friends tell us that you offered them sanctuary, which is very much appreciated, and that you were someone we could trust. As I'm kind of looking to Sonder, like for verification, like
High Priestess, who are you asking? Who are you directing this to?
who I think is the High Priestess, because I haven't technically met her.
High Priestess, yeah, Kurova. Yeah, you guys are at the table. She introduced herself.
Coronavirus.
No, Kurova. I'm going to smite you. Hersinos is going to smite you.
You want to get smote?
You want to get smote?
Smote. Oh no.
So yes.
Different from smitten.
Different. Way different from smitten. Still struck, just different outcome at the end.
You've been smiting down.
Okay. So, the elderly dwarven woman, they introduce herself as the high priestess, Kurova. She's, yes. Of course, those who ask for sanctuary are more than welcome here.
This might seem very forward, and I apologize if it is, but this temple wouldn't happen to have a teleportation circle, would it?
You see, Kurova kind of smiles a little bit, and Harissa and Dosnin kind of look at you with like very quizzical expression of just like,
What the fuck is that?
yeah. Kurova's like, no. We have no need for such things.
Insight check.
Sure.
Okay.
I like that Kindred doesn't believe anybody.
Truth.
19.
19. Seems. She's telling the truth, but she seems not like she's trying to be disrespectful or anything about it, but she does seem kind of like, no. So, Priestess Wanalea told me that you all are seeking sanctuary, particularly from a watch. Is there a reason that you all are hiding away?
I look at Sonder and the others. You don't want to spill the beans?
There's beans?
There are suspicions that
Yeah, let me pass them. No.
there are suspicions against us already, so we want to be somewhere safe, where prying eyes are not as common.
I see. Dosnin, who is now like eating a little bit there, kind of looks over to Sonder. Well, if there is a place for you to have found sanctuary, then this is one such a safe place.
We also understand that the area and the people here may not be as welcoming of those of us with magic backgrounds.
So your insight's pretty high. You can see Dosnin's face kind of like harden at that. Even though he's like looking down at his like oatmeal that he's eating or whatever, you can see he just has this real stern expression at you're saying that.
That's the Goliath.
That's
one, right?
the half elf.
Oh, okay.
Dosnin.
Yeah, Dosnin. Weldon is the young Goliath, and he kind of, being the youngest and the acolyte, his robes differently. He is now kind of being more of like, kind of like waiter kind of thing. Is now the other woman doesn't have sat down. He's kind of refilling glasses with water or juice. He sits at the foot of the table, but is kind of like quickly gets up if anybody looks like they need. So he hasn't really said much of anything. Kurova responds, there is some truth to that, I suppose.
And what did you ask again, Soul? I missed it.
I just made a comment that for the sake of why we're seeking sanctuary, that it seems like a lot of the town isn't as welcoming for those of us with a magical background.
Gotcha, that's what it was. Okay.
Are there any like some symbols of the moon around where we are specifically?
There's a few. Yeah, it's not like it's like saloon plastered on every wall and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you can see
All the
iconography.
crosses.
Yeah, you can see a little iconography here and there, like the little eyes that have the stars around them.
After eating, I'm just going to be looking at one of the figures of the moon and kind of reminiscing something.
Okay.
And is today the day of the gig, or that's tomorrow?
It'll be tomorrow night.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I'll kind of
I
like.
thought it was tonight.
It's the next night.
2 days.
Because we're getting outfits and stuff made. As long as everyone's here, and I just kind of like keep looking back and forth at the group, I'll tell them most everything of how we got here. Not like the whole prophecy thing, but like we were on a ship. One of us disappeared. Our ship crashed. We've been traveling. We were in Spandyllion. And we had some rather weird run-ins in the Mirkwood?
Yearwood.
Yearwood. And
Mirkwood is somewhere
That's
else.
Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Okay.
I was like, wait, that's something.
So pretty, yeah.
Branduil, where are you?
Unless y'all stop me, I'll just kind of lay everything out for them, and trying to watch their reactions and as I tell them things.
Okay, make an insight check for me.
Also, Soul is going to say in Sylvan, calling out to Twiggy, like, "Hey, Twiggy, we're gonna eat something. Do you want something? Come sit on my lap."
I got a 9.
9.
Did you ever actually get Speak with Animals, Soul?
I don't need to. I don't think.
Yeah, they just understand him.
They understand him. He can't speak with them, but they can understand him.
Here, boy.
Well, I mean, I have Speech of the Woods,
Right.
so I could learn how to speak, read, and
right. But
beasts
they
can
still
understand.
they can understand you, and you can get an idea of what but they don't speak to you.
Oh, right.
They-
To actually get words, you would need the spell.
yeah.
I gained the ability to decipher their noises and motions.
You heard Kronk.
Yeah, you get the intent, not specifics, but you get intent. Interestingly enough, Soul, when you're doing that, Dosnin looks up at you and then starts looking around. It's like wondering who you're talking to. Nobody else seems to react whenever you say that, but Dosnin does. He kind of like starts looking around, looks at another table. It's like just goes back to eating.
That's the half elf again, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
What was your insight in that?
It was only a 9.
9. The other priestesses and the priest kind of just take it all in stride. They're just listening and don't say much of anything. Occasionally, Kurova, will ask a question here or there. How much did you go into anything about Everhelm or stopping there?
That's the abandoned city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I go over that
Probably
unless
would've.
the group stops me.
I'm okay with that.
At this point, I'm just like, well, all right then.
No, like, I'm kind of like looking at y'all like.
I'm
Can
not
you-
stopping him. This is the first time I've seen Kindred actually fully divulge a damn thing.
Okay. So as you are
Iskra's uncomfortable, but you can't tell perhaps if it's because of what happened in the morning or
Yeah.
because of the
Yeah.
conversation.
Right.
Saunders also visibly uncomfortable, just kind of reading the room as well, the eyes and
okay, make an insight check, Sonder.
okay.
North, what are you doing?
Why am I rolling so low today? 12. My
Which
passive is
priestess?
18, but
What'd you say?
Which priestess was the psychic? Kinda,
Kurova.
The psychic.
or not the psychic, but like the really wise one that was just like, oh yes, I predicted this, or
Yeah, the one about Galil. She
You
had a
haven't
dream
seen
about
her.
Galil. What?
She's not here.
I thought
oh,
that was
she's not here.
That's what I was like. Nobody was reacting to this, and no, the woman is not present.
Elan. Oh, I see.
Alana
She
was
was
not
the
here,
first one
and
we met.
Kurova is the high priestess of this temple.
I've been
Oh.
waiting for a minute to bring
Oh.
that up, but it
Okay.
just hasn't.
Oh my
As a-
gosh.
The,
y'all don't pay
the
attention.
flow of
You guys
conversation
don't pay
doesn't work that way, so.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Like, Alana was not here. Whenever she was in the room, Kurova came up to you and said, I am High Priestess Kurova. And Kindred made a face like, what? And I was like, you remember meeting an Alana, but there has been no Alana.
Well, then I'll go up to the high
You guys
priestess.
you are sitting at the
Corva.
table.
Yes.
Okay. You're going to go up to her? Well, she's, okay. So I'm just making...
Oh, is she at the table too? Like,
Yes, everyone is sitting... Oh. Sir,
my
where
God.
are
okay,
you?
well, I thought they had gotten up. I thought they had gotten up.
No,
whenever
no,
they were
no.
talking.
Everyone is still at the table.
Okay.
Like it's
We're
like
eating
story time.
breakfast.
It's story time at brunch right now. Like everyone's eating,
Okay,
drinking
so just
mimosas.
everyone's
And,
just saying
Yes,
everything,
mhm.
laying it all out.
Yes.
If you just
All
stood
right.
up and walked over and stood next to her anyway.
I would.
And, like,
I mean, I'm here for it. I'm
Hey
not
there.
gonna stop you. You do you, man. But I was just like,
Hey, high priesty.
I was just like, okay, sure. Well, no.
In that case,
No, but I would just kind of hold up my my hobgoblin
Hobgoblin
hand and be like, know anything about this? Someone
They
said you
all-
might help.
Everyone, all the faculty here, the clergy here, whatever you want, all the members here of the temple look over at you. And
I
all
do
of them,
too.
and they all kind of just go, there's like a mixture of reactions of just like curiosity, then kind of like surprise, and then it like washes away as like they're trying to like keep their initial gut reaction just kind of like, oh, no, just compose. And Kurova kind of leans forward a little bit from the table, and it's just kind of like, I cannot say that I know exactly what that is. Are you a half-blood?
Nope. I should be human.
He's been
Not
pieced back
anymore.
together.
So it would appear. No, I'm afraid our knowledge doesn't go to that extent. There are certain things that we are taught about unnatural states of beings, especially when related to creatures who are affected by the moon's phases. She kind of lets that hang for a minute to see if you kind of get where she's going, but she doesn't say anything directly about it. It's like, but that
Werewolf?
seems to be not entirely related, as you do not
We-
suffer from that sort of affliction.
Lycanthropy? No. No, that's
Bear goblin.
Where, Goblin?
goblanthropy.
aside from this, we've heard of priestesses who can assist in extracting memories. We believe that he is in need of this. Would this be
Well-
something you can do?
She kind of scratches a little bit of like the 3 o'clock shadow that she has on her dwarven face. It's like,
Dude looks like a lady.
Kendra usually kind of gets like
She's-
standoffish. It's Sonder, like that's not your place. The mind is. It has to be his decision. It's.
We had spoken about this.
I look at
And that's really rich
North.
coming from you.
I look at North like seeking clarification. Like, if this is true, okay then. But the mind, that's magic I don't even mess with.
Karova is just kind of like, I'm afraid that that does not fall into any of the abilities that we have. But there is a enclave to Ogma here. Perhaps one of their priests. They deal with things related to knowledge. Perhaps they can help you find some answers if that's what you seek.
History check?
Sure. Actually, this would be more religion if you're thinking of Ogma.
Okay. 12 plus 5, 17.
Okay. Ogma is the Lord of Knowledge. They tend to be related more to like bards. They are one that a lot of bards will follow or worship, but they are their domain is knowledge. That's possible.
Good to know. Speaking of those with gifts, is Priestess Elaine around? I haven't seen her this day.
They all kind of look at each other, a little curiosity. Karova kind of leans forward a bit. I'm sorry, who?
Sorry if us being here is a bit more than you expected, but there was a woman the other day who seemed to know quite a lot about us, or insinuated she did. She said we should come here. Someone here in this temple?
She looks to the other members here. We are the only priests and priestesses here. Lalden is our newest addition. We have not had anybody else here for at least a few decades.
Would I start piecing things together?
Yeah, because this is like...
But what was the name you spoke of?
Elaine?
No.
Was that the name? That was the name of the...
It was Alana, but
oh,
I'm assuming you'd say the right one. It's fine.
Yep.
We
Her
do
last
not...
name is Morissette. No.
Alanis.
Isn't it ironic?
She kind of just shakes her head slowly. She's like, we have not had a priestess by that name here, and as long as I know.
I just like slowly turn and look at Iskra and Sonder like, what the fuck?
Hold on.
Thinking back to an early adventure in Ravnica, when there were a bunch of ghosts and spooky things going on in the Temple of Orzhov. So no one by that name was ever a priestess here?
Not to my knowledge. Karova kind of looks over at Dosnin, and Dosnin just kind of shrugs. He's like, I could look to see if there's anything in the archives, but...
What about in that branching knowledge people thing?
What? What are you referring to?
You said there's a...
Oh.
Like the branch off?
The Enclave?
Yeah. What about one of those people? Or one of them, maybe?
Dosnin kind of shrugs a little and just like, to be honest, if we do not have it in our archives, we have whatever, they have whatever information we have. If we do not have that name somewhere, then I'm sorry. There must have been some confusion. You sure you spoke to a priestess here?
What if? And I'm just shooting.
Harissa like sets her cup down, just like staring down at the plate, and then just kind of looks over. Could you describe this woman?
Yeah, I'll go and describe her.
What does she look like?
Aaron, I don't have my book with me. I remember she was a human, and I believe she had dark hair.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Make
all
a
I remember. But
make
Sandra
a
would
history check.
remember.
And a great big bushy beard.
It was the Trunchbull.
Squidward.
She was riding a unicycle. And
I
No.
could have sworn when they told
Juggling-
me the story, it was a unicorn, not a unicycle.
Can I
brother.
get,
Juggling.
Can I get help?
Well, because you're going through your own memory, so you can't really get help in that one.
Or like,
Yeah.
yeah, I distinctly
Well,
remember.
if anybody
seeing
else
her.
wants to
a couple of us
describe-
that, yeah,
If anybody else wants to describe her as well, then
I got a 12.
okay. Then they
We were
and
eating
it-
these mushrooms. and
sure, I can't remember
seeing
what she
her.
looked like, but
yeah.
I'll try to recall.
So, is it okay if I cast here in your presence?
Dosnen's like, what are you going to cast?
A simple illusion
Then
about
it's fine.
yay tall.
Sure.
Minor illusion, the image of the priestess that Sonder described to us the other day when he told us about her.
Okay.
But you haven't seen her, so
You described her to us, so that's my best interpretation of her.
Your best
Wait,
interpretation.
I was
Yeah, I
there,
guess so.
wasn't I? Soul was there, right?
you were
Yeah.
there. You could do it.
I could do it.
Do it.
Oh,
Make a history check.
Me
Okay.
or
Yes,
Soul?
to see how well you remember
Me?
Soul. To see how
Okay.
well he remembers this image. What did you roll, Eskra?
I got a natural 20.
Heck yeah!
nice.
Draw her.
Yay!
I got an 8.
All right. So the image
I
that
got a rush.
appears is like one of those like surveillance video cameras. It's just kind of blurry and isn't focused well. But the general image is kind of there, and then Iskra helps kind of fill in some of more details.
No, a little taller, and
You got
her
the
ears
nose
weren't
all
like
wrong.
that.
I always get my nose wrong.
It's just like a Squidward nose.
the handsome Squidward face.
Squidward, I'm Squidward.
Yes.
They're like sharp features and then just like the Squidward nose.
Yeah. Harissa looked over to Kurova, and she kind of mutters something softly. Let me see what language. I have it all written on the wall here. What you guys speak.
I
How
speak
was-
everything.
You
How
do
was-
have a ridiculous number of languages that you speak. But of
10.
all of them,
Oh, God.
it is actually only Soul.
Sylvan.
Yes.
Oh,
that understands that she just says, and Soul, you hear her go, could it have been a vision? Kurova kind of looks over at her and just kind of like doesn't quite shush her, but just kind of goes like, shakes her head.
When you Soul says this in common, when you say vision, do you mean like
Mhm.
we saw
yeah.
her
All out much?
spirit, or
The
You see Dawson kind of like chuckles to himself at like seeing the fact that they were trying to talk in Sylvan after having just heard you talk in Sylvan. Kurova is like, what the priestess is suggesting is it sometimes Our Lady can make a appearance to certain people in need. I cannot say for certain whether this circumstance is what happened to you, but it is possible, I suppose.
Wouldn't be the first then.
Are you?
Oh yeah,
and
deities talk to
Oscar
us all
knows
the
it.
time.
With that comment,
Not my first rodeo.
Renan looks forward and says in Celestial, "Can we trust you?"
Kurova's eyes kind of widen a little bit. And then Celestial says, "Do you have a choice?"
In my experience, still in Celestial, in my experience,
Everyone's just flexing at this table.
in my experience, those who follow moon deities can often be as changing as the phases of those they serve.
It is Leldon that replies in Celestial. Maybe where you come from. And that's all he says.
I feel like we're doing a measuring contest.
I'm just eating. I'm just buttering my biscuit. I'm just watching all this take place. I'm like, okay.
Kurova goes back to Kama and just speaks to the rest of you. Is there, or have you any reason? This friend you said you lost. None of you seem to have any special ties to Saloon. This friend that you lost, did he have ties to Saloon?
Descendant.
Yes.
Directly. In Celestial.
Another flex.
She
What do
kinda
I know?
She kind of just nods slowly. Then I cannot discount that you may have had a visit. And I am glad that you have found yourself within these halls.
Were you talking about Eloquent or Galil?
Blue.
When I let
Celestial.
Yeah.
Did Twiggy ever show up?
No.
Oh no.
God.
I eat them here.
My God. I don't want a cupcake.
After watching all this take place, I'm just kind of like letting the dust settle.
I looked to see if Twiggy left a note.
Eloquent took Twiggy!
I turn and look at Sonder and just kind of scuttle over to him if he's not already right next to me. I'm like, hey, what time were y'all here when you saw the vision?
Good question. What time was it? I would remember what time it was. At least the if it was
apparently
dawn
not.
or
You don't remember anything.
dawn or dusk or.
I put it in my Trapper Keeper.
I remember it being like at least past afternoon.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember everything for you guys.
I don't have my book.
Write
It's your
it.
job.
Write it.
I've almost completed 2 notebooks now.
All right. So, knowing that it was like in the middle of the afternoon, ish, it was a little afternoon. That was the last time you had been here.
And High Priestess Korova is the dwarven female, you said?
Yes.
Okay, as dinner or brunch, not dinner, as brunch is kind of like winding down, I'll like call out to her in dwarvish.
God.
I'll just ask her, would it be okay if we spent the day here and kind of caught up on some things and errands? I promise I'll try to stay out of your way.
In common, it is not many who come seeking or who turn to the gods in Deltalar. You are welcome company to have within our halls. But know that if you stray outside, we cannot guarantee your protection. Once you are out there, you are within the reach of the watch.
Understood.
Even here, there is no guarantee. But the watch knows better than to move against the deities. They simply encourage a fear of what can't be explained.
Well, do y'all have anything in particular y'all need to do? I just catch up on some research while we have the day to ourselves then, guys.
We can practice, but also, if you all need a helping hand with making food or harvesting, cleaning, let us know.
One note that I would like to make, my friends, is if we are to make an escape under the, well, protection of the fog that I called, it will have to be before the end of tomorrow night.
That's when they're supposed to play, so...
Yes, but when the sun rises, my request to Hirsanos will have been fulfilled.
Should be plenty of time.
Harissa is like, so you're the cause of the fog?
Picking up my fingers, I just kind of like arc little tiny bits of lightning between them. Perhaps.
Flex.
Flex night.
Hey,
I
that's
kinda-
all we've
gonna
been
show
doing
up
all
in the
morning.
house of the moon goddess and like strut your own god right in front of their god.
I kinda-
like,
True.
I kind of
That's very
tug on
tacky.
Renan's,
even for me, that's tacky.
You what?
I kind of
Queen
tug
of
on
tack.
Renan's shirt or his feather.
Tug on his wing.
Like as soon as you pull on the feather, I like pull the wing back very quickly.
Thunder begins to sweat
like-
profusely.
Hey, do you remember that thing that we talked about the other night that you'll talk with?
Yes.
Do you? Hey, I'm talking to Renan.
Oh, sorry.
This is an A
You
and B
eavesdropping
conversation.
The only one he
Conversation, so
bonded
go
with,
F yourself.
Yeah, I took on his feathers, and I'm like, hey, you remember that thing we talked about, like the little mimic thing you said?
and I put my hand like this, and I broadcast to the group whilst actually verbally stating, yes.
Well,
There's like that weird feedback echo of hearing Renan twice.
Ouch.
Yeah, I like
Wince.
I'm like
flinch.
kind of coughing up words and kind of stuttering and trying to kind of beat around the bush because I know it's a sensitive topic. So I'm like,
Oh,
the friend you're, the
Oh,
invisible guy.
which-
Somewhat cutting him
Hold on.
cutting him off.
Have you guys talked anything about your missing person to everybody? Or to anybody?
Yeah, I thought we've been spilling the beans on the table.
We hadn't got to that point.
And also,
yeah,
I got
yeah.
there, and then they were all there talking.
Well,
and
yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
"You
You
didn't
knew,
hear me?"
you know he's gone, but don't know the fact that his spies rumors with the rest of the group. Yeah.
No, that's what I was tugging on his feathers and talking to him because he had mentioned, because we had that conversation
Yeah.
last night.
And I nod towards Iskra and I say, any belongings that he may have left would probably be left with her. That wouldn't be a conversation to have with me, I'm afraid.
Well, I'm not going to talk to her about it yet. She does not look happy.
I can imagine not. It was one of the few connections she had to her home.
Too soon, man. Too
Are
soon.
y'all just saying this out loud in front of her? Oh my god.
No,
man,
we're more like to the side.
Relatively hushed tone.
Judas tones.
Judas tones. Oh my god. Nice.
Since everyone was flexing their magic, Soul's gonna cast.
I'm like
Wind
there
Wall.
rotating the empty bowl of whatever we were eating, just like slowly.
Yeah.
This was really good.
Never
actually.
liked porridge.
Okay.
By the way, has anyone seen Twiggy? He did not come when I called him.
I saw him
Leldon's like,
heading towards the gardens.
what is a Twiggy?
He is my friend Raccoon.
You see all the priests and priestesses suddenly share a look.
Yep. That's yep.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Um,
You just hear like,
Well-
"Oh, dinner's ready." No.
We had something roasting outside for a little while. Leldon kind of like you can see his bluish skin kind of turn a deeper purple.
Uh-oh.
Is this
He
a
hides the raccoon hat that he had been wearing.
is this a friend
It's
of
like
yours?
of mice and men. It's Lenny.
A close friend of yours?
No.
He is a new friend.
He was purchased. Saved.
I just top off my glass, and I'm like, "Ooh, this will be good."
we
He
found
went back to the merchant. The merchant like resells him over and over. He's trained to do it.
It's all a
Oh,
broke down palace.
that'd be terrible.
we found a creature in the pantries during the night,
They chopped off his arm.
and we put him outside.
Oh, okay.
Like slowly shaking my head. I'll go check the carriage.
What time last night? Today? Last night?
Middle of the night, we heard noises.
In the wee hours.
It was the wee hours.
Maybe-
I was going to the bathroom, and I heard noises from the pantry.
Oh, Soul, we
Well,
should
very
have put
very wee hours. I see.
should have put like a collar around him or maybe a bell.
Oh,
Maybe
did you
have-
not have him chipped?
Somebody pull out the GPS tracker.
Well, I would have known, but someone had to dispel my alarm, bitch.
Probably when he made his escape.
Mhm.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, so he crawled up the ventilation shaft. As you guys are finishing up breakfast,
I'll help clear the. I keep wanting to say
Look,
dinner table. I'll help
yeah.
clear the table.
I'll
Leldon
go
starts.
with
Yeah,
Renan to go
It's
look
great.
around.
what are you gonna say?
You didn't see anything else in the night, did you? Apart from a raccoon and us.
No, I saw nothing. When Alea's like, no, the halls were quiet over the night.
Aliquin's never been that good at sneaking. I
His
say to
arm- I was
myself.
his armor looked shaken.
If your friend left during the night, he did not use the door.
He does have
I
that
would've- I
teleporting
would-
spell.
I would have seen someone entering into the main hall.
Isker, you want to help me clear these dishes real quick?
Yes.
Leldon starts like, no, it's my job, please. And he starts like gathering all these dishes into his like giant arms and stands above like,
I still hold
table.
on to my plate. I'm like,
Okay.
well, let us use the place. Let us at least do a fair share.
all right.
You
And
look like you could do a lot more than wash dishes and carry things around.
Oh my god, he is celibate.
Korova,
You don't know that.
Korova kind of nods and she goes, he has been quite useful around the temple. This is
Oh,
true."
what's been going on in this temple?
And as you guys are clearing the table and setting, getting ready to
Somebody
do whatever,
sanitize that altar.
whatever you guys are going to do next, God damn it, we are going to go on break. because I need to recheck my sanity.
Before walking out, though, I will ask Soul if he wants to join me looking for Twiggy.
Yep. I said I was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I didn't hear that. My
All
bad.
right. So we'll be back in like 10 minutes.
I'm
Don't
just
go anywhere.
picturing like Enya
If you
start
have-
playing like all the Gregorian chants, like, and he's
If you
just
have-
standing there.
If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat. We can keep an eye on chat as we are on break. So we will be around, but we will be back in like 10 minutes. Peace. Yes. Yes. All right, we are back in action.
Transformers, robots
That's
in
in
disguise.
Oh my god. Alrighty, guys. So, as we get back to it, you guys have just finished eating a morning breakfast. with the puppy. A phase puppy. It's like almost as phasey as Pigug's cat, but not quite to that extent. Because this one just like fades from the ethereal plane. It's like Ghost Dog becomes Material Dog and then becomes Ghost Dog once again.
Just don't punch it, Sonder.
my
Like cats
God.
and phase dogs.
Give him all the love.
Yeah.
Yay.
He looks like a young Scooby-Doo.
Scrappy Doo?
You're muted, by
No.
the
Oh
way,
no.
Josh.
No, not Scrappy.
He looks like that dog from that one video game where it has wings and it's like kind of a bird as well. Have you seen that one?
It sounds
I don't
kind
remember
of
what it's
familiar. I was laughing because Graham says it's just Oreo's ghost. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Oh man. Oh man.
oh, that's
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys had just had breakfast with the crew here at the Temple Saloon. You guys had talked to them about what had brought you up to this point, the different things and events that had transpired within the last few weeks. You guys had also told her about your apparent run-in with a mysterious individual who had claimed to have been a high priestess here, but was apparently not. And now you guys kind of are starting to figure out what you're going to do for the rest of the day as dishes and plates and things are being cleared away. When Alea gets up, I'm just like, well, I am going to go to sleep now, and we'll see you all in the evening. Good night.
It's noon, right?
Didn't
Like
we all just
noonish?
wake up?
Yes, but I stayed awake through the night.
Oh, do y'all take shifts?
Yes,
Oh, makes sense. Duh.
we alternate every
Okay.
10 days.
So while you're asleep, who should we ask if we need
The
any
rest.
assistance or anything?
When Alea is the one that you had talked to the night before. So the rest of them are like, we will all be present. There's usually one to watch overnight and the rest sleep. So we all take turns every 10 days.
Like
So-
pieces of the moon.
So Hareshsa will be tending to the gardens in the back. Dosnan and Korova, they will be about the temple, doing temple things. And then, well, actually, I guess technically, Dosnan will be attending the temple. Korova will be teaching Leldon. She is the high priestess and he is the acolyte. Which makes for an interesting pair, considering that she is a shorter, stout dwarf and he is this tall Goliath.
It's Yu Hakusho.
Oh my gosh.
So,
It's Genkai and Yusuke.
sure, I have no reference for this. I'm sorry. But you guys are free to do whatever you guys would like to do for this day.
Anyone want to go first?
I'm looking for a raccoon.
Same.
Okay, you guys are gonna go out into the outside of the temple and start looking around. Go ahead and make soul. It'll be if you're gonna be doing looky looks, it'll be perception with disadvantage. For Renan, it's just a straight roll because of the fog.
Okay. First, I'm gonna cast Wind Wall to get rid of the fog. I'm kidding. I'm not.
I mean, I guess you could technically for a little bit around you, but
Roll back. 27.
27. Okay. Nice. Well done.
Uh-oh.
19.
So I don't need disadvantage on that roll. It doesn't go any lower than a 1.
Oh no.
Rolls again. It actually says negative 14.
Well, you know, you say that But spoilers, I had a couple of negative rolls on my hand yesterday, so it does happen. It can happen.
What if you roll a critical one?
Right. No. Well, that's yeah. Mm-hmm.
I played with a group that used to do that. One was critical fail, and it made all kinds of fun
Shenanigans.
things happen.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
no, it's glorious.
Oh, so if we don't, then it's a 6.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, total numbers in this case. As you have rolled 0 for initiative, yeah. That is definitely a thing, Graham.
Is there like a reverse proficiency? Like you're just terrible at something?
I don't think
Yeah, it's called disadvantage.
Like,
Ineptitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll for ineptitude. I really am really bad
do I
at
have to
this.
subtract? Do I have to add my ineptitude bonus?
Subtract your ineptitude bonus.
You know, I think it would be cool though to like have an ineptitude
Detriment?
skill. Like you can choose a skill to have an ineptitude of, and then you get another proficiency
Oh my gosh.
See that?
as a trade.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of things. I think even in older D&D, you can have flaws, and the
Mhm.
certain flaws you get gives you bonuses.
Well, I
points
mean,
that you can spend.
technically,
And those are fun.
you kind of have that. Like my character sheet, I have a negative on certain checks, just because of my really low charisma score.
Yeah,
so
you
that's
just have
kind
a
of like
low
a
skill.
bad
Yeah.
proficiency. That's like lack of skill.
Yep.
If you get the negative number, so it technically already has that.
Facts are facts.
I played a monk once that had a fear of fire that was out of control. So not like a torch or a campfire, but one that was spreading.
Like
and he
Frankenstein.
would freeze up, and he would like
Yep.
just stand there. Yeah.
It's ironic. He sees fire, freezes.
And this is why you don't find Twiggy, because you're too busy looking at
This
ineptitudes.
is- you're having this discussion about one time I knew this guy who was really afraid of fire, and like,
Renan's just looking around like, can we find the time raccoon?
Oh, he's fine.
you look around, you do not find any sign of this Twiggy.
Well, what do I see if I rolled a 27?
This
Lots
is
of fog. The occasional like passing of the guard. Once again, you can kind of see them through the fog. You can hear them. The metal as they walk on the outside of the borders of the temple. Yeah, of the temple grounds itself. Okay.
Sonda.
What were you
I
gonna
would
say, Sam?
try and see if maybe Twiggy would return to the man who captured him. Possibly.
Okay.
Well, it's the case they can keep the damn raccoon.
Everyone's just splitting up, going outside the church. Thanks.
That's a good idea. Did we already check the caravan, by the way?
That's a good idea.
I did say I was gonna go check the carriage.
No,
But we
wasn't- Yeah, no, he was not around the carriage. All right. So as you guys continue to do your search, what are the rest of you guys doing?
So once Iskra and I go into like the kitchen or whatever to like start doing dishes. What is going on? Okay. I just saw like
Are you
Renan's
asking
all
me?
headbanging.
Oh,
But anyway, while doing dishes, I'll just tell Iskra. So I know you don't want to hear this, but he didn't just walk away. My spell was disarmed. This was deliberate. So he probably went somewhere and not on his feet. But as soon as we finish this, we can look for him. And I have a pretty decent chance of finding him.
If you can, just so we have an idea. But
Absolutely.
clearly, he didn't want us to follow him. And I have been furious, and worried this whole morning, but I can't stay angry. I did something very similar. I left my family to keep them safe.
You left your
So
family?
it's a long story. I don't think I'd really want to get into it, but
No worries, but we
something
have
like
all
that.
day. And
The
if you,
best way to protect them was for me to stay away from them.
well,
And if that's what he thinks, if he's in his right mind, then I,
well,
I have no right to say any different.
I'm guessing your family's back on this place, Ravnica, right? That's where you said you come from?
Yes.
Well, it'll take some time, but if you're still here by the time I am able to do so, I can send them a note or send them something to let them know you're safe, regardless of if they're on this plane or not.
Aloquin suggested that I ask you about that, actually. I haven't yet, though. Time works differently where we're from, and I'm worried that if I send them something, who knows what I'll get back. Maybe they're all old. Maybe my parents have died, you know?
Well, if that's the case, then you can at least honor their memory. I mean, then what's the point if you're just never gonna remember them? At least it may not be the reunion you want, but it's a reunion nonetheless.
I just prefer to try not to think about it.
Well, if that's the case, you missed a spot.
I wipe the plate a little bit.
Wow.
So we'll finish that and put them away wherever Dosman tells us to.
Yeah, Leldon's the one. The Goliath.
Leldon. Asking Leldon, would it be permissible if we could study the temple's archives and see if we can find anything more on this Alana, or just more on the watch itself? With your supervision if needed.
Leldon?
Yeah, since we were
he's
here
the
for
one,
like
yeah.
the dishes and stuff.
It's... If you wish to look at the archives, then yes, I can lead you there. I have to go there for my studies. You must ask the High Priestess. But I don't see why not. If you want to know about the watch, there is not much that we keep track of there.
Okay.
But you may ask her. She has been around since its formation.
It's not the one that he was referring to that said she was going to turn it in for the night, right?
No.
Okay.
Winalea was just like, she's basically the night manager for this week, and then so basically you get they each take like a rotation, being the night manager, the night watchman for that week.
Okay, being on call for the week.
Basically.
Okay, so then we'll go ask High Priestess. Pretty much, if we're permitted to do so, we'll stay out of your way. We'll keep quiet.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
I'm interested in this Alana, and then just, I mean, I'm sure as you're aware, we're not from in town, so anything in general we can find would greatly help us.
I mean, we're not exactly a library. If you're looking for general information, the libraries of Ogma will probably be your best look. But relating to anything with Saloon, then we will see what we can find that will be of use to you.
Feeling lucky with her today.
Then she kind of gestures. So by this point where you're at, there is like a little undercroft to the temple, and there is a it's not like anywhere near the size and the scope of the libraries of Silvery Moon, but it's like it's a small room, probably about like 40 by 50 or so, that has a few, like the walls are just all of these bookcases, and they have scrolls and books of various kinds.
Okay.
And then the center section looks like it's just desks and tables and things for study and work.
Okay, so once we get done there, first thing I'll do is take Iskra. So promise is a promise, and gonna clear off a little spot, but staying out of Lelden's way.
Yeah, he's off. He's his own little. Well, I say little respectively, but he has his own large table that he sits at, like a desk, and Korova is currently with him, and they're going over some scrolls.
Okay, so I'll reach in my bag and I'll pull out my crystal, my orb, and then you see me rummage through like some little things, and I pull out a little locket of hair, and I'll place it down on the table next to the orb, and just kind of look at Iskra like, we may not like what we find. You want to?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll scry on Aliquin.
Hold on one second. I'm going to look. The orb that you're using, does it have to be attuned? You don't have to attune to it, right?
Yes, I am attuned to it.
Oh, is that okay? Okay, I couldn't remember if it was an attunement thing or
Should
not.
Be, let me. Yeah, it requires attunement.
Okay. All right. So, what is the DC there?
DC 17, but he gets a minus. Oh gosh, scrying. Minus 15 to his roll.
What is it's a wisdom?
Wisdom 17, yeah.
Okay. Kindred, as you have your hand placed on this, there's the briefest moments where the marbled-like surface of the inside of the orb starts to shift and move. And your vision kind of like does that 1,000-yard stare where it goes through the orb itself. And you see and hear you hear footsteps echoing in what sounds like some sort of underground space or an enclosed space as they echo on stone. It continues on for a little while, and it's just dark. You can't see anything but the footsteps, or hear anything but the footsteps. And there's like this faintest of light there.
So I'm like just kind of
But
calling
it sounds.
out everything I see to Iskra as it's happening.
But there's more than one pair of footsteps. After a minute, 2 minutes, you detect there's 5 footsteps. Some of them kind of start walking in cadence, and so they seems like they disappear in the noises of the stone hallway. And then from the darkness,
There is a dim light that as Alcuin and 4 others emerge into a room. Some sort of underground chamber lit by a fireplace. Pews line this underground chamber. And above the fireplace hangs, now painted on the wall, layers of paint made in this symbol that you have seen before.
If it's the symbol I'm thinking of, I want to shift away from it, but focus on Alcuin.
It's only briefly visible as like your focus is on Alcuin, but it does kind of just come into view with the fireplace. You hear talk in Abyssal. Mentioning this sanctum is a sacred place. We will be doing many studies here. One of the hooded, shadowed figures at the edges of your vision speak to Alcuin. The Sisterhood has a faint grasp on the power that can be found with our patron and lord. They scratch at the surface for scraps. We dive head first into the deepest, blackest waters and come out victorious. We will show you how to do this, so that you might better protect all that you keep dear to you. Alcuin doesn't say anything, but just nods. And the vision starts to fade.
I'm listening.
No, the vision starts to fade, and you come back.
Okay. I knew he's with the Sisters of Demos, right?
No, it was male voices that you heard.
Oh, okay. So then
They were speaking about the Sisterhood.
Gotcha.
The Sisterhood only scratches the surface.
Gotcha.
And they are the ones who dive headfirst.
He's with the Brotherhood, not the Sisters. They're in some sort of sanctum. Looks like they're gonna be studying, training, preparing for what's to come. I don't know. But would I be able to do like an insight check? Like there was no like hostility in the room, right? Everything was kind of like peaceful and just.
Yep.
Okay.
It didn't seem like anybody was there under any sort of duress.
Well, at least it looks like for the time being he's safe and not in any sort of immediate threat.
Thank you.
Kind of like put my hand over your hand. So why we're here?
Speaking of why we're here, I should probably practice. We blow this, I mean, it'll have been for nothing, right?
Well, that's why I keep my chalk ready in case we need to poof far away. But with that, let me see, there's nothing. Just kind of like peruse the archives and just kind of study what I can, get a sense for like this Alana person, and just kind of like look over records and try to make sense of the watch interact. I don't know like what they keep records of.
Is there a
Make an investigation check. Go ahead, North.
is there a like a chamber for praying to the lunar god, like that's empty, or like a big
There's the
like
main
queue hall?
chamber. There's the main chamber. It doesn't really have any sort of like pews. It's just like a
And is there anybody in it right now?
no.
I'm gonna
you-
head there.
Well,
Well, since they're gonna be researching, I'm gonna try to just kind of go there and see if maybe, since it should be around afternoon time, see if maybe a vision appears for me,
Okay.
or see if I sense anything.
I got a 26.
On the investigation, Sonder, what were you gonna say?
um,
Oh, I see now. Yeah. So, North, you go to this room and you do see that there is someone here already. It's Saunders here.
What's up, Sander? Hi, hi. I'm like your biggest fan.
But yeah, Sonder is here.
meditation.
Yeah, Sonder is like meditating right now in front of this large like statue of Saloon that's here at the back of the main hall. There's a couple of like candles and incense that's been lit around the base of the statue that you see that Dosnin has left because he's been kind of attending to that sort of thing around the temple. But it is.
Well, I will. So where he's sitting down, I'll go to him and kind of sit next to him, but
Okay.
opposite. And
You
then
feel something as you sit next to me, like a lightness and a warmth in your soul.
Ooh, that's nice.
Go ahead and make religion checks, both of you, or religion or arcana, either one.
20.
Nice.
20 as well.
Nice. You guys
30,
sync.
20 though.
Yeah, you guys synchronize, and for a moment you become one. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh shit.
Fusion.
Right? That's kind of cool.
As you guys are sitting there, and yes, indeed, you do feel a presence there, Sonder. As North sits, and it is that warmth of a presence of someone. But there is something below the surface. A third presence almost to him as he sits there with you. And as you pray to, I'm assuming, Bahamut.
Mhm.
Kind of just praying for what exactly?
There is a protection aura
Mhm.
that Sonder has been trying to channel with its new gifts. He's trying to meditate and expand that beyond himself.
Okay.
Mantras that he's repeating to himself.
All right. And what about you, North? What are you seeking while you're here?
For me, I was just hoping to kind of feel like, just because I've had that reborn presence
Mm-hmm.
of like and Echo Knight, or just in general, because I came here at the same time-ish, and I have a weird backstory. So
Yeah,
I came here because it seems like it was the right thing to do in my roleplay setting.
Sure.
No,
is there anything specific that you're wanting to like
but
say?
I'm
or...
just in general meditating, and trying to get more images from like my memories, or just get like a presence of it, and just try to remember what I know.
For sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll reach a hand out.
And so North would be sitting there, probably cross-legged or something, or kind of knees up, and just kind of breathing, and then having his echo. Kind of every time he takes a big breath, kind of you see an echo come out. It's just like a very subtle, like kind of peaceful process as he does this.
If you open your eyes, Sonder, you'll see that, well, I made the joke about the two of you combining. You do see that North does seem to phase in and out almost. Like another North, a regular North with minus the hobgoblin features, kind of like phases out over, like almost like an overlay over on top of him before it fades back in. And then the briefest moments you'll see a hobgoblin emerge from that phase, and it's almost like they just kind of rotate back and forth, in and out of each other's existence. And that brief moment whenever they pass through each other, it's just regular, it's North as you've seen him, but there's just that duality of like two individuals almost, it seemed, in one body.
Okay.
But there is no apparition other than that. But you do sense that there is definitely more beneath North's character that as a whole than what meets the eye. How long are you wanting to spend doing this? Just till a couple hours, an hour?
An hour, probably. Yeah.
All right. So then, Kindred, while you're doing this research and doing the studying into whatever you can find, you in fact do not find any mention of any former priestess named Alana here at this temple. You go back far into the records. There's been probably close to 100 priests and priestesses that have been have come through this location since its building, since its foundation. A lot. There is a gap in years during the spell plague where it seems like records weren't really kept as much, or they're spotty. But even before the spell plague, there is no mention of anybody by the name of Alana. The watch has little mention in any of the notes that you have found. A couple of not, I wouldn't say so much like altercations, but just a couple of moments where they have come here seeking people. They may have come here to seek asylum, as there have been several that have come here to seek asylum. But they have never forced their way into the grounds.
And do I know what the general outcome of those people who were seeking asylum?
There is no record kept. Just that they came here searching for people that had been assumed to have been seeking asylum here, but there's no confirmation that any of those people actually came here or not. As there just doesn't seem to be a paper trail involved in any of these individuals.
We have the whole day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm gonna do another long rest in the large
You can only
temple
do
area?
one. You can do a short rest, but you can't do
Or a short
long
rest?
Yeah.
A short rest.
Can
And just try to get another memory out.
So you can do, yeah, you can spend an hour just resting, meditating if you want to do that.
while looking over records, can I just cast Detect Magic and just see if like anything kind of catches my eye down here? Gives off a ping?
Casting Detect Magic here. There are a couple.
Saloon, show me the way. No.
You do see that like the High Priestess has an amulet that she carries around her that is magic. There is one book at the very back that does seem to give off some sort of a faint aura to it, but it's just a very faint one.
I calmly walk over to it to see if I can read what it is.
There is no title to on the spine of this book, but it is pressed with a bunch of other books around it. It's still on the bookshelf. Yeah.
I'll pluck it.
As you are reaching for it, Kurova comes over and seems to just be at your side suddenly.
I'm
Can
not
I
overstepping, am I?
That depends. What you intend to do.
This. Have I successfully taken it off, or was I like in
You
the
were
process?
in the process of touching it.
This book. It's. I've never really been one for religion, but I have a relationship with Saloon, and this book's calling to me, if that makes sense.
Her eyes narrow at you. She seems to be trying to read your intentions.
You're an inquisitive one. And I can see magic being used in your eyes. I don't think Saloon is necessarily calling you to this, but your curiosity is. You won't find much in the way of information in that book. Nothing that will benefit you. It is a very special book.
Special how? God damn it, Galil.
Oh. What?
It's a manga.
The name of Saloon! I shall punish you! Yep.
You know, we serve the goddess of the moon. And I believe you know that there is a certain number of us that deal with, as your friend said earlier, those who live their lives with specific curses. This book is an ancient book. Most temples have something related to this. Just to help guide those who have been cursed or to some degree blessed with forms of lycanthropy and others. This book is one that many druids use. It has similar studies. We priests and priestesses are taught all how to help and guide those who suffer the more feral forms of this curse, and how to either control it or ease their passing.
May I?
Do you study the druidic ways?
I study non-magical medicine. Look, and I'll go in my bag and I'll start pulling out, where is it at? Damn it. I'll pull out my Fey Strength Silver Thornberry poultice. No, not the poultice, the ingredient.
By the way, which roll do you want me to roll this time for my past life?
We'll get to that in a minute.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay.
But I've studied the proper. Oh, I'm like having it, like letting her hold it if she wants. Like I've studied the properties of this, and it's very potent and can heal quite a bit. And I've studied some other things too, and I'll start pulling out just like normal ingredients and just telling her like
she
properties.
nods. She just, it's fine. You may look at the book, and just I'm letting you know that it is probably going to be of little value to you.
I like all knowledge. Although I may not look it, I'm over 300 years old and spent most of it studying.
I was not aware hobgoblins live for such long lives.
They don't.
There's another flex.
Her eyes kind of narrow again.
Remember the other one this morning? The part
yes.
here, part there.
The hunk.
You're the worst. Shut up. Silence you.
I guess you can say I've suffered the same fate. But while this may not be my original body, I've learned to make the most of it. And I can still learn.
We will have to have words. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to my student. She kind of gestures back to the table where Iskra is waiting.
Or I'm waiting.
Or if you are there. I mean, I don't know. Okay.
I will take the
Iskra
book
waits for
and be very
people.
careful with it, treasuring it, and take it back and...
Yeah, start reading it. Okay.
Huh?
North, it's going to be a history check if you're trying to pull back memories again. Iskra, what are you doing? Oh yeah, you went to go practice,
Yeah.
right? I forgot.
I'm gonna go practice, and I'm gonna alternate between, like, Iskra's form of meditation, which involves playing the instrument, and then actually playing a practice and studying, like, practicing my actual combat moves, because I don't know how this is gonna turn out. So
That's fair. Sandra, I will say that after a little while, you do hear like the sounds of music coming from the sanctuary or wherever.
I'll join Iskra after the hour.
Alrighty. North, what did you roll?
I got a 24.
24. Let's see. You start pulling back more memory, trying to focus more on what you can, trying to see if anything would be useful with the things that you have been learning, that you have learned so far this day, what you have learned the day before, what might become useful in the days that follow. And your mind drifts back to Elael, the woman that you had seen the day before speaking with Valravn. You remember her speaking to a group. And the vision shifts with her at its center to a smaller room. Not here. Elsewhere. This place has more dusty features. This place has sand. And an individual dressed in red comes forward. And you're seeing this through bars? The individual in red, cloaked as they are, hooded as they are, comes up to this woman and pulls back a red cloak. Pulls back the hood that was over their head. And you see a bald-skinned humanoid individual, but the skin looks almost reptilian. There's almost like a snake skin quality where there should be hair. There's almost like scales that go back down the spine. They start exchanging words. Somewhere from the edges of that peripheral vision, you hear the sounds of a slithering body along the ground. Large. And towering at least 8 feet into the air, a individual slithers into the room, a large snake-like body and a humanoid upper torso, and the vision fades. And you awaken from that moment alone in the chamber. What do you do?
Do I sense any other presence, like a spirit or anything like that, of Alana?
No? Nobody seems to be around. See the candles flickering there in front of you. The incense smoke kind of curling up in the air. But Sonder is not there. You can hear music playing faintly from somewhere. One of the other rooms, probably.
I'll walk by, and wherever they have the incense and such, I'll flick a silver coin over it, and then I'll follow the music.
Okay. You find Iskra and Sonder practicing in one of the side rooms. So and Renan, after you've been searching outside for a while with no luck, what are you guys doing?
He wasn't at that store.
Oh, is that where you guys went, right? No. You do find where he was purchased, but there was no raccoon inside. Do you go to approach the man, or do you just go by and kind of look?
I'll approach the man. Wait, Renan, it was you that bought him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Renan, is this the place, right?
Yes, indeed.
Let's ask him if maybe he might know if Twiggy came by.
I don't know.
And asking. Yeah, go ahead.
I approached the shopkeeper. Good day.
Hello. Took me a minute. Thought I recognized you.
Go away. Not you.
Okay, fine.
Dog is in my bubble. Okay. By any chance, have you seen the raccoon that I purchased from you?
His name is Twiggy.
Did you lose it?
Well, he did.
Well, he is not my pet. He is a friend. He can.
He's a friend that ran away.
That's so. If you set him free, then why are you looking for him?
Because he is a friend. And we look for our friends.
Well, fair enough.
Oh,
Well-
Hana means no.
I have not seen that raccoon. If you want another one, I can find you one within a day or so.
That
That
will
is
be
okay.
fine. I look over the card again, just like, any owls this time?
Make a perception check.
What about a phoenix?
You have any phoenixes? Oh, we're fresh out. So sorry.
What about
That
any
is a
mermaids?
22.
22. Various birds, common birds, pigeons. There's like a rather grumpy looking gray cat in one cage. But no owls.
All right. Thank you muchly. If you happen to see the little booger, then currently we have made acquaintance with the Temple of Saloon. If you wouldn't mind bringing it by, I would certainly be happy to compensate you for your trouble.
And me as well.
I just kind of lean over. You have money?
Technically.
If I see this she looks over at Salt Twiggy. I will see what I can do.
Thank you muchly.
Thank you. I'd appreciate that.
Of course. Loyal customers. Just turn back to his goes back to his ordeal. So now what are you guys doing?
Suppose returning to the temple.
While I'm with Sonder and Iskra, whenever they get a break from practicing their stuff, I'll kind of go over to Iskra and make slight conversation and kind of console her, because I know she looks pretty worked up over the whole situation. So I'll walk over there and, hey, I know it seems weird that I just got here and your friend goes. I'm used to the watch doing that to me, and I wouldn't trust anybody that's suspicious or coincidental. But if it's worth anything, I don't know what happened. And I don't think it was the watch, but if I can help find them after this is over, then maybe I can help.
I don't blame you for Alec leaving. I say succinctly.
I didn't know if that was on. I didn't want to be rude. I'm like, all right, anyway. Thank you, I guess.
So, what do you think about this next night, the performance?
I'm thinking proceed very cautiously and take every thing we can get to mitigate a risk, because the watch is tricky, and as far as we know, we have to plan as if they are 2 steps ahead of us all the time, and that's how you beat them.
Do you know any other ways in and out of that place that we didn't take yesterday?
None that any of y'all could take, maybe except for that winged one, but it's really, if you can't fly or echo, then you're kind of screwed. They keep that place pretty run down. I think y'all should do it outside. And then if it's an outside, you'll have more places to run, more cover to get behind if things go sour. And there's plenty of tall places that some of us can get out and distract.
Good points. Although, if we're outside, that also gives the watch balconies.
That's true. Or your VIP guest could go in sick. I've already seen the outside of the place. I just need some sort of signal from y'all that nobody's around a certain position and I can echo into the barricade and get behind him.
I do think it might be better to have people standing by. Rather than us all getting caught in the same net, if there is in fact one. Hopefully, though, all we do is make a splash and things go great, and next stop they.
But just in case, we don't want to have all the fish in a barrel, as they say.
Do they say that? Sonder, did they say that here?
I mean, I have weird sayings where I'm from, so I guess it exists. Most of you don't understand, so
Shit in one sock.
I've heard that one.
Ew.
Eggs in a basket.
Yeah, let's stick with the fish.
Time is a weird soup. That's like my favorite one right now.
Time is a weird soup.
Yeah, it's like a chowder. It's chunky. Anyway,
Anyway. Yeah.
Time is chunky.
All right.
all right. So, did you guys continue to practice for a little bit? Renan,
I will bring up to Sonder.
Mhm.
Since we were talking about him a little anyway, Aliquin left another note. And remember how he mentioned he wanted to come up with a song for the Battle of the Bands? And got all nervous. He left lyrics. They're in Ravnican, but I could either translate them or I think it might be nice to put them to music.
That sounds nice. I think that would be good.
Do you think we can come up with something before tomorrow?
Yeah, let's work on it. In his memory.
Right.
Well, he's not dead.
Not that he's dead, but
Right.
good job, Sonder. Good job.
In his honor.
Negative charisma check.
Honor.
I just finished talking her off
In
the ledge,
his
and you take her
honor.
right back up.
All right. You guys spend a little bit of the afternoon working on this new song.
I think what he did was honorable. If he thinks that, if he truly believes that he is to blame for what happened, and if he believes that he needs to leave those that he loves and those that he cares about to make himself better, I don't think that what he did should be spoiled by our initial reactions to it. So yes, to keep his memory untarnished.
I don't completely forgive him. But it would be a shame not to use this.
For sure. Okay. Let's do it. Yeah, and we'll spend the rest of the afternoon working on music and creating a song for. We'll create his song. Yeah.
Okay.
We are going to need our other bandmate. Soul? if Soul is in range.
Yeah, my range.
Yeah, but at this point, yeah, because I'm assuming you're probably on your way back.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Iskra.
You have time for practice with Sonder and I?
Oh, sure. I was unable to find Twiggy, but hopefully he will show up soon.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure he'll be okay. He's a resourceful critter.
Yeah, and maybe the sound of us playing he will recognize.
I'm sure that will happen. Yeah.
Insight on Iskra? I'm just kidding.
Iskra already ate him. Okay. So, as you guys return, Kindred, you study the book for a little while. And there are a lot of parts that you do not understand, as they are written in Druidic.
Is
There,
Korava...
you get the sense that there is a spell here, but it's not one that you can quite grasp for whatever reason.
Would if the high priestess is here?
Yeah, she's there.
Okay. Would it be okay if I make notes, my own notes on this? I won't write in the book. And I pull out my journal.
Yep, sure. It is a book. You find that it is basically on different forms of treating different kinds of lycanthropy at different stages. The spell work that is involves something about channeling moonlight, but it's in a weird form that like you don't. It makes no sense in the arcanic like way of magic. This is something completely different.
And cue Shakira.
Yes. Shakira?
She-wolf.
Oh, yes. I was like lost for a minute.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was thinking of the one where she's crawling in the mud.
It might be the same one.
I don't know,
I'll
I
just
don't think
make
it is.
notes and maybe show it to Soul and see what he comes. But spend most of the day doing that, and then just checking in. Do I hear anything back from Neferu or Hibby?
Neferu, yes. She eventually does get back to you at a later point in the afternoon. Darling, I have no idea who you're talking about. So sorry, I could not find any information.
Okay. So I'm just thinking to myself, I know she fabulously tried anyway, in her own way.
The rest of you, well, as you guys gather together and kind of practice the rest for the little bit into the evening, there does come to be a point where you get a knock on the door.
Is it Twiggy?
Make a perception check.
I'm a real boy. No.
Who, all of us?
Sure. Oh, I mean, I was talking to Salt because he was the one asking if it was Twiggy.
Oh.
But if you want to, go for it.
11.
11. Sounded a little heavy for raccoon fingers. The door opens softly, and it's Dosnan. He closes the door behind him. I wanted to say that I do enjoy your musical playing. It is nice to hear something in the halls once again.
That's a relief. I'm glad we're not disturbing you.
No.
You can request for something related to the moon.
Moonlight Serenade, please, if you will. as he kind of like stands there awkwardly for a moment. I know that you are not who you say you are. I know you are posing as a band.
Forward.
I also know that you have the Watch's attention.
Is he me?
What?
Is he me? Did he just steal my
Oh.
job? He just did the same shit I did.
Oh, I get what you mean.
That's not cool. He just stole my light. I'm gonna
Stole
fucking
your
kill this
style,
guy.
bro.
That was a good one.
Still my plot.
You can call me East.
Oh no!
The west
One
side.
of you is wicked and one of
reverb.
you is the good witch.
You can call me East, but some call me Reverb.
The Wicked Witch of the West.
Oh my god. Oh no, Graham, stop. Well, this just went south.
Wow.
Yeah, this is happening.
Rocket fingers.
He kind of, it's like, I know this because I too came here seeking sanctuary. You spoke earlier of a town, Everhelm. This is where my parents lived. Since coming to the city, I've done my best to stay out of the Watch's way.
This is the half elf, right?
Mm-hmm. There is a sort of underground to Veltalar. And it has become known from various sources that there has been a band that has come into the city that seems to be more than they appear to be. And now with the Watch's interest in you, this underground wishes to make a request.
Well, what kind of band would we be if we didn't take requests?
You
Whoever's
see,
on drums. Ba-doom.
you see a little bit of a
It's
corner of
Twiggy.
you see a little corner of a smile go on his lips. Indeed. We wish to assassinate Vilraven.
Mm.
I'll do it.
You son of a bitch, I'm in. No.
Which one is that
Son of
one
a
again?
bitch. I'm in.
Is that the Taylor? 'Cause I knew
I've been in since 2, 3, 4 sessions ago. Let's do this.
And we are going to rescue those he intends to hand over to the Thayans tomorrow night. Here's how we are going to do this. And that's where we end for tonight.
I knew it.
We saw it coming.
I'm about to say, before he like tells y'all think y'all might want to call me up there?
No,
Is there
no,
an
you are
ending
not
scene?
there.
Or at least turn on your spies murmur? No.
Can we also agree to
Oh,
kill
I don't have
Taylor?
one.
He
I
knows
need to
Soul's
ask you for that,
secrets.
but
Hey, what?
What'd you say,
I said,
Saul?
can we also agree to kill the Taylor? He knows Soul's secrets.
Yeah. Too many
That's-
secrets are
Oh,
known
I
by
thought
that
we were.
Taylor.
It took me a second. I'm like, you touch Palmyra, I kill you. North will kill you too, but he will have to bring you back to kill you because I'm a kill you.
You mean the Watch Taylor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
I didn't get groped, so not my beef, literally.
Oh my god. Oh. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Lamb chop.
Yay!
Looking forward to next week's ridiculous episode that I'm sure it's going to be.
study session.
You don't know. Maybe we're all just gonna be super chill and relaxed and
Renan
play
doesn't do
We
whatever
are-
this
very
game
well.
is again.
Make
What are
sure that
doing?
we take a really long time putting on our outfits so that it like
Montage.
extends for one
Sailor
more.
Moon.
Yes.
We're not
Wait a
ready
minute.
for this.
Wait a minute. I just had an idea.
Oh God.
Somebody should use disguise person or like a spell like that and turn Renan the color of stone, and I can just go like land on top of the palace and like pretend to be a statue.
Oh my
Unless
gosh.
they have the monocles of detect magic, and they see, oh, that's not a statue. That's a glowing ball of elven magic.
Well,
Just
if
have
somebody
to
had the
paint him
actual
stone
ability
color.
to,
They're gonna be
Huh?
like, wow, whoever sculpted this needs to get good at sculpting.
Mhm.
I have a
Get
disguise
good.
kit. I could disguise as Val Robin.
You're gonna.
We
Oh,
could do that Spider-Man comic thing where he's like,
good
Oh,
points.
yeah. They
he's
figured
like,
us out.
get back to your post. No, kill him. No, kill him. Like,
Yeah, right.
We
right.
Who do we kill? Him.
We are more than we
Fuck.
appear to be. We're actually just a bunch of goats standing on top of each other in a trench coat.
We are
Yeah.
Suddenly
a
goats.
band.
There's suddenly
We just
goats.
all
We
The
are
whole,
actually
the whole band just falls apart
goats.
into goats.
No.
Involves goats.
That would be
That's
a
where we
just see,
great
like, the
magic
classic
trick.
Batman
Bunch of
spiral,
goats.
like.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note,
Yay.
thank you guys for tuning in tonight.
Mhm. And before we leave, I stuffed the very ancient, powerful book in my back. No.
Oh my god. Suddenly goats killed last night at their show. Nice. I love
Brutally
that.
murdered.
Don't forget to tune in Thursday night for our next episode of Rescuers in the Mall's depth, so we can see if Galil over there actually, makes any progress on getting himself rescued, or if he just, makes things worse.
Maybe he likes being the damsel in distress.
Maybe so. We'll have to find out, and we'll wait until Thursday. In the meantime,
And Galil, if we weren't ending, I would have totally requisitioned you for a kimono.
oh yeah. Oh well, too bad. He'll find a kimono in the abyss, I'm sure. Like, that's
Damsel
just-
in distress wearing a dress.
Exactly. What? Galil equals Peach. Sorry, Galil. Sorry, guys.
Mario.
Your Galil is in a different abyss. All right. Well, guys, we will see you next time. We're gonna go raid our friends over at Dads and Dice. I kind of want to do that because I wanted you guys to see,
weird.
but I also don't, because then I don't know what point you're gonna see me. Oh!
Yes, we see you just totally flipping out, going crazy.
Yeah, that
I
is.
don't know what
It
to
is.
do.
It is very much. It is very much
I
what
would like
happens.
to see which one of us are you more geared towards, which he had to say.
I don't know. That is a very interesting question that I had not thought about. But in the meantime, we'll see you next time. I'll have to think about. I'll have to think about this one. I'll think about it. Bye.
Au revoir.
Ayo.
Sayonara.